Hello and welcome to my term project demo. In this video I will be showing you my 3D graphic calculator term project. So if I go ahead and click run, we get put into the graphing calculator. As you can see, this is the default mode, insert mode, and if you'd like to learn how to use the graphing calculator when you're grading it, you can click on help and learn what the different modes do and the general instructions for using the calculator, as well as reading the README. The README offers other useful tips on how to use the calculator. So my default function is a saddle, and if we enter function mode, which is where you can see the function, you can see my saddle function is being graphed and is set to rotating by default. If I want to be able to not have this graph rotating, I can toggle the rotating on and off, and I can reset the orientation of the graph by clicking reset. I can use these buttons to change the orientation of the graph. Additionally, I can put rotating back on, and I can zoom in and out. So if I want to get in closer, I can really look at the graph and see all the things in high precision. And then I can click the zoom minus button to zoom out. Alternatively, I can type on the keyboard to change the zoom. If I then decide that I don't want to see these grid lines because there's a lot of grid lines and it's kind of annoying, it looks kind of like a green sheet, despite being helpful, I can go back to scale. I can go to scale mode, and I can toggle the grid lines off. I can also toggle the box off, and I can also change the precision by changing the number of grid lines. I can also change like the X and Y scale, just changing how many points are plotted from the origin. So I can turn this X scale down. And then if I go back to function mode, you can see the precision is greatly increased. The grid lines are off. It's running a little bit slower, but you can really see, like, I could sit in that saddle. Like, that's a saddle right there. So now this is one function, but you can enter any function that you want. So if I go back to scale mode or insert mode, and I decide that I want to graph a semisphere, I can enter a function in terms of x and y. So I'll give it a radius of 7, and then I can go like this and do a semisphere. And as you can see, there's my semisphere. It's rotating, it's a little slow. I can go back to scale mode, turn the number of grid lines down so that the precision is a little less, but it runs a little faster. Go back to function mode, and now it's rotating smoothly. I can zoom in, and it looks pretty cool. You can do any function you want as long as you follow the instructions in the README, and beneath the function there's a specific way that you have to type the function in for SymPy to be able to evaluate it. And that's kind of the extent of my project. I implemented all this using matrix multiplication and rotation matrices. And to get the points of the function, I used SymPy to evaluate and parse a string function and then turn it into a lambda expression, and then I generated all the different XY combinations in the grid to get and then I iterated through those different combinations to get the Z values and then plot them using perspective projection. Thank you so much for watching. It's been a pleasure.